KFDI, hello.
Good morning, Josh Turner.
Josh Turner, good morning. Welcome to the show and welcome to Wichita. Cotillion is where it's at. 7 o'clock, doors open, show at 8 o'clock. Your greatest hits tour stopping in town. And lots to get to, so let's start. How's the family?
Oh, they're good. They're good. They're keeping me busy,
Excellent.
as always. But can't complain.
Good. Excellent. I want to thank you. Because your music indirectly is responsible for one of my greatest karaoke moments of my life.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was Long Black Train, and I got a standing ovation after I finished.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Wow.
Granted, everybody in the bar was drunk and tone deaf. When you and your wife, Jennifer, first met in college, be honest, was it the voice that first attracted her to you, or was it something completely different?
She says it was my eyes.
Okay.
But I have to believe that my voice played a part.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I want to get to that night at the Opry where you officially welcomed Scotty McCreery as a member. Now, typically, it's the inductee who gets emotional, but you did too, which was kind of surprising. What were you feeling at that moment?
You know, it's funny because that literally just hit me right out of the blue. I was doing totally fine until I got to the point where I told him I was proud of him, and I think the reason I got emotional was because it was true. I am proud of him. I'm proud of how far he's come. I've seen him fight some battles. A lot of people wondered if Scotty was even going to make it in this business. There for a little while, but he kind of took a step back, looked at the big picture, made some changes, and just kept at it. And he's been doing great. Just celebrated another number one.
Mm-hmm.
Just a member of the Opry now, and got a new record out, and so things are going great for him right now, and I can relate to those tough times in this business. It can be pretty hard and pretty mean, but you got to stick with it if you love it, and you can really tell that he loves his craft. He loves the music, and it's something cool for me to see because Randy Travis influenced me in a mighty way, and so here I am doing the same thing for Scotty, and it's kind of a hard pill to swallow sometimes because I don't want to take any credit, but he continues to cite me as an influence, and has really kind of studied the art of country music, and I've noticed him just continue to get better and better.
Boy, that Randy Travis record, by the way, what a joy to hear!
Yeah.
What a joy to hear that. I don't care whether it's AI or not. What a joy to hear that new song.
Oh, absolutely! It's pretty incredible what we can do with technology, especially when we use it for good.
100%. You got a new record out, the Greatest Hits record, of course, available wherever you get music. You also got a new single, Heating Things Up. I'm going to tell you right now, that is straight baby-making music. That is, that is, I mean, have you ever had fans come up to you and tell you that you're responsible for, let's just say, growing their family?
Oh, yes, many a time. I had a friend tell me the other day that this is the prequel to Your Man.
100%. All right, the Greatest Hits album. Was it hard picking the 11 songs to go on the album?
Yes and no. Most of them were pretty obvious, and then there were some others that we could have put on there, but we decided to go with some different ones that kind of defines a part of me and who I am, and so it was interesting because my label had put out a compilation years ago called Icon. It was part of a series that they had done on every artist, and I was really upset about the Icon being put out, this Icon record being put out, because I just felt like it would ruin my chances of having a Greatest Hits record one day, because the Icon record was could be viewed as a Greatest Hits record, but it came out and it actually went gold.
Okay.
So I couldn't complain, but that's been years ago, and and we felt like it was time to put out an actual greatest hits record, and so we did. And so we had to kind of go a little bit in a different direction, and obviously we had some newer hits on there too. So,
oh, sure. Let's look a little bit down the road a piece. What's next after the tour? You got anything planned?
I have no idea. I just kind of take it one day at a time. Obviously, we're focusing on, the greatest hits record right now, and we got this new single from an upcoming record. So a lot of irons are in the fire, and just looking forward to what the future holds.
Right.
I won't be slowing down anytime soon.
Right. Right on. A couple of years ago, you put out your Christmas album, King Sized Manger. What is your favorite traditional Christmas hymn?
That's a good one. I don't know if I have a favorite. There's so many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could narrow it down to one, but Silent Night is right up there.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Obviously, it's on my King Size Manger record, and I'm very proud of the arrangement that I came up with because, golly, how many times has that song been recorded? So it was an accomplishment to come up with a new way to do that.
Yeah, and it's such an important song. You go to any sort of midnight mass or Christmas Eve service, and that moment where the choir is singing Silent Night and the room's dark and the candles are lit. I mean, that's chills right there. So that's an important song. Good stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Early in your career, when you injured your voice, Josh, was there a plan B if your career was over at that point?
Briefly. That really kind of shook me up, and so for the first time in my life, I started thinking about, okay, what if I can't sing? What am I going to do now? So I had actually considered going to Clemson University to major in forestry, and my parents would have nothing of it. They were like, hey, let's not go there yet. Let's work through the vocal injury. Let's kind of go down this other road first and see what happens. And so the vocal injury was actually a blessing in disguise because it forced me into learning how to take care of my voice. I had to take vocal, lessons, classical vocal training, and I continued that when I moved to Nashville and started going to Belmont University and majoring in music. So it was a day in, day out process, and so it took years for me to really start seeing that I was healing from it and that, my voice was healthy again. And so when I got to that point, I noticed that my voice was bigger and better and stronger and had more range and texture and depth. And I was able to use it in ways that I had never been able to before. So that injury really kind of, pushed me in a direction that I probably never would have gone. So yeah, forestry was, a brief thought, but
Ranger Turner, it could have been, right?
Exactly.
So you mentioned taking care of your voice. What's the one most important singular thing you do to protect your voice?
There's quite a few things that you have to do, but getting your sleep, I think, is the number one, thing you have to make sure you do. If you're sleep deprived, that affects every single thing you do, including your singing. But outside of that, I would say, just staying hydrated and just, staying warmed up and keeping it loose and, all that. So,
Tina Turner, famous for insuring her legs. Is your voice insured?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
All right. Now, I don't know whether anyone's ever asked you this question. You obviously haven't always had this deep voice. Like, when did the change happen? Because in fifth grade choir, I was a superstar. Sixth grade rolled around, and they're like, "Yeah, JJ, we're going to ask you to sit this one out." Like you weren't on Santa's lap at 3 years old, asking for a Red Ryder BB gun, and being like, "Hey, Santa, I want a Red Ryder BB gun." So, when did the voice change?
Oh, I used to jokingly say it was the second time I went through puberty. But it was, I've always kind of had a low voice, when I was in my, early teens and all that, because I was always attracted to those lower voices and would always mimic, the bass singer in our quartet at church and, people like Richard Sturman and Johnny Cash and all that. And so, like I say, I had a lower voice, but after my vocal injury, when I started noticing that, my voice had really taken on a whole new look. I noticed that not only was I hitting the low note, but it actually had a lot more texture.
Sure.
And it had a lot more depth and a lot more character to it. So I would say, when I was in my late teens, early 20s,
okay,
was when that really kind of came to light.
Right.
But, it's funny. I listened to a song off of my first record yesterday, and then I listened to a song off of my upcoming record, and the difference was just astounding to me. Just hearing how far I've come vocally and how much it's developed over these last 20 plus years. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, your voice is your superpower for sure. A couple more, then I'm going to let you go real quick. Travis Kelce singing your song, Your Man, right before things got real serious with him and Taylor. Essentially, you're responsible for bringing those two together, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take all the credit, but not the blame.
No. Okay. Fair enough. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. That rendition that Travis was belting out needed some work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It always surprises me, when anybody sings any of my songs. So it just shows how far of a reach music can have.
Yeah.
I learned that early on, after I signed my record deal, and just, certain things had happened where it just kind of really shifted my focus into, hey, music is powerful and it has a really wide reach. So I need to make sure that I do my best work day in and day out, because like I say, you never know who's going to end up singing your stuff. So
if you,
I've seen a lot of interesting characters sing my songs.
I mean, if you got Medea covering your music, then you've made it right to the top of the mountain, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've watched all those movies and, just had a blast, laughing.
Sure.
Carrying on with those movies. And then lo and behold, Medea goes and sings my song. It's like, oh man, this is real.
All right. Finally, you're obviously really good at the country music thing, Josh. Name something you're not very good at.
Ooh. Wow, that's a great question. I'm not really good at shopping.
Look, you don't have to be good at that. It'll save you some money.
I can do it, but it's very hard for me. I have to dig way down deep to go to my happy place when I do it.
That's a great answer. All right, Josh Turner, Cotillion, doors open at 7, show at 8. It's going to be an amazing show. The Greatest Hits Tour stopping here in Wichita, and really looking forward to you putting on an amazing show. The Greatest Hits album available wherever you get music. Don't forget to check out that new single, Heating Things Up. Josh, pleasure speaking with you, and hope it's not the last time.
Oh, I hope not, and looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show.